Welcome back to 5 Minutes of X, where 5 is more like 5 to 10. I'm reading every mutant comic Marvel ever made in order, and this week, an Avengers comic time travels to the future for art and plot ideas. Welcome back to September of 1970. On the 1st, we get a Whirlwind cameo in Captain America number 132. Gene Colan was on pencils and Stan Lee wrote and edited this particular issue. Then on September 8th, the Avengers number 82 continues the adventures of Quicksilver in his half of the Avengers team. Remember, they split up in that last issue, so this is his half. There was also an X-Men reprint this month. Issue number 67 dropped on September 22nd and reprinted that awesome Juggernaut two-parter covered in episode 22. This is a great story, and I think they did an okay job covering both issues with this new cover. Although the cover itself is drawn well by Marie Severin, no less. The coloring on Juggy here is just, it just kind of takes me out of the issue a little bit. That gold just doesn't work for me. Okay, not a lot going on in this Captain America issue. We last saw Whirlwind in Cap 130, which we covered in the last episode. Since I goofed on the dates and reviewed that July issue during the August episode of the show, it feels super recent, but in real time, Cap's story was interrupted by a cut-in Bucky story, which I'll tie back to this one, and an annual. So for regular readers, it's been like 3 months and 2 stories since the last one that we reviewed. What we get here is literally just a flashback of that issue to catch up readers in case you forgot over the intervening months. The flashback does use all new art, so that's nice, but it's just the same scenes from a different angle, and we don't really learn anything new about Whirlwind or even see him in a different costume or anything like that. All right, Avengers number 82. Wait, did I just Doug DeMuro that?
All right, time for the quirks.
Let's get into some quirks and features. All right, so we open with a splash page that seems rather incongruous, though pretty cool. Like a goat head rising with the sun over Earth while its octopus tentacles hold half of the Avengers. We cut to this cool 6-panel of New York being startled awake. This page feels very rigid and has a Watchmen mood, even though that won't come out for like another 16 years, and it'll be 9 panels instead of 6. But this whole issue will mostly stick to that format. It does break with some rounded corners and a few wide panels here and there, but as I show images from this issue, you may notice that there are no Dutch angles and everything is on the same grid, even when it bleeds across white bars. It's a real striking look. You see it sometimes. It's always really fun to see. New York is being invaded by Reddit up arrow helmeted dudes. Man, this issue really predated a lot of stuff, huh? Anyway, the bridges and tunnels are destroyed to keep all of New Yorkers in, like in Batman The Dark Knight Rises. Boy, this really does feel like it just really feels like it's from the future. All right. Our goat man from the splash page appears on a TV declaring that he is Aries. He's the leader of the Zodiac, and he doesn't appear to have octopi arms like he did in the splash page. What he does have is not a mask. He seems to have weirdly bulging goat but not goat eyes, and then just like a human mouth. This dude may be having some trouble with the ladies, or maybe not. I don't know. Maybe not. He deploys little net planes to stop the military from parachuting in, and he has captured the half of the Avengers that didn't go off to help Red Wolf. Wait, that wasn't his name. It was Red Fox, right? yeah, it was Red Fox. I'm sorry. Okay, Red Fox. To go off to help Red Fox. Sorry about that. So what is super important here is that the Avengers who are captured, including our boy Quicksilver, are not in glass tubes. 2 thumbs up there. Okay, so Wanda, Vision, and Goliath are watching Aries give out his demands on a TV, in like a TV store display. Aries is asking for $1 billion.
$1 billion.
So we cut around to the Fantastic Four, Peter Parker, Black Panther, all in or returning to New York City as it's being taken over. We get a cool scene with Matt Murdock beating up some of these Reddit trolls who took a break from modding 7 subs over 100,000 users, but none of them are about hand-to-hand combat. And he also joins up with Black Panther. That was a run-on sentence. Together, Daredevil and Black Panther successfully fight Aries and put him a little bit on his back foot here. Despite this, he does get away and shows up later with our Avengers in glass tubes. This time they have head holes, but they're still just lame glass tubes. Daredevil breaks a thing that wakes them up and the tubes break or whatever. I don't know. Whirlwind does some fancy spinning and knocks down a bunch of henches not on their cake day and races with Thor to the roof to see Ares taking off in his escape plane. Thor hammerwangs his way up to the plane and destroys it, killing Ares while the US military rounds up a bunch of karma farmers who are already drafting their I was there post. All right, so we learn in an epilogue about how all these plots were somewhat related. Ares had somehow created a situation where Red Fox would have half of the Avengers leave New York, as Van Lunt was working with the Zodiac, as well as the thugs Black Panther wanted to take out near the school where he teaches. He actually did that in a Daredevil issue that we didn't cover due to the lack of an X gene in that particular issue. We end on a joke about how Daredevil is blind, but only Black Panther knows that. Okay, so our Cap issue is just a flashback cameo, not much to review here. Again, I did like that they at least redrew the scenes from different angles. It's nice. Okay, the Avengers issue is a good wrap-up on a handful of running stories, but overall this issue is kind of meh. It's not bad, but it feels a little paint by the numbers. It's nice seeing Daredevil here. We don't see him very much. He doesn't interact with a lot of X-Gene having people, but there wasn't much for Wanda or Pietro to do, so that was kind of the highlight, was seeing a character we don't see very often. You survived another session in the Danger Room. Check out Jordy.com for character info, reading lists, and what other nerdy things I'm cooking up. New episodes drop Wednesdays at noon and Fridays at 4 p.m. Eastern. As much as I goofed on this issue, it really did predate a lot of media, like a weird amount of media.